Welcome to Dalian City, guys. This is the second largest city in Liaoning Province. Just got off the train and let's see how they describe it. An open and innovative city, a romantic coastal city. Let's see if it can live up to these big words. Well, this is the main station here in Dalian City. They've also got another, at least one other, a north station. They might have others as well. Here you can see Dalian. And yeah, pretty nice looking skyline right here. And it is winter. We're up here in the northeast of China, so it is definitely kind of cold. I'll tell you one thing. I arrived here and I overheard a security guard at the station telling a Chinese guy, you know, basically go this general direction to get to the subway. And I'm actually underground right now. To cross the street, you always have to go to these underground passageways. And this is the second one that I've been, and these are like huge and you can take multiple turns. And occasionally you'll see a sign that says subway, and it'll even have an arrow sometimes. But I've been following that, and I'll be honest with you guys, it's definitely not very organized. Like, I feel lost, basically. Could this be it? You see, you're just trying to find the subway, and I really don't even know if I'm going the right way at this point. That's kind of cool, though. If you look at the sign here, they've got Russian and Korean, and of course Chinese. Okay, so this is it. Line number 2, Xinghai Square station. Finally made it. And this is one hellacious escalator. My goodness. Yeah. Now here's the subway map where you buy your ticket. They do have an English option. You just hit that. Now it looks like, I mean, they've got lines up through line 13, but if you count, line 1, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 lines and then a branch off of line 3, so technically 7, I guess. After a lot of great effort, we made it. You see, here's the thing about taking the subway. Well, first of all, it costs less than 50 cents, and it makes for a little bit more interesting video for you guys because you can get out and see more of the people. Okay, now we're hopping from line 2 to line 3. Let's see what kind of surprises await us beyond these doors. Please wear a mask. Protect life, guys. Come on, have some consideration. Just a little look out of my hotel room window. Now we're just coming over here to the largest square in Dalian City. Look it up there, you got the yacht club. And this square is called Xinghai Square. It means the Sea of Stars. Definitely got some nice big skyscrapers around here. Everywhere you look. Now in the past, Dalian was actually colonized by Russia and Japan, and at one point it was the southernmost stop on the Trans-Siberian Railway. Now back here you can see some pretty unique looking architecture. Now apparently there used to be a big old-fashioned Chinese tower, which I believe is called a Huabiao, which stood, I think, there, somewhere out there. And it was knocked down years ago. Now, if you don't know the backstory, there was some political drama with a leader from this city and the current leader of China. So I'm not gonna get into that story and the theories and ideas as to what could have happened. You can look into that on your own, but it is worth noting. It's definitely an interesting footnote of Dalian City. So here you go, that says Dalian Xinghai. And if you go in here, you can see it's going to be festive. You've got street food stalls. You're going to have little, like, games and little shops and stuff. And this just goes on and on. I'm not going to walk through. And definitely on a busy night, I'm sure this place gets totally packed with locals and tourists and stuff. I'm sure there's some good times to be had, especially when the weather's nice. Well, I really had to cover some ground to get from the subway over here to this part of the square, which looks pretty cool actually. But you can see, I mean, way out there where those buildings are, that's where the subway station is. It's a pretty good walk. And then you get out here and you've got what looks almost like a a skateboarding related contraption, which back not too many years ago I was an avid skateboarder, but obviously this is not made for skateboarding, although it does resemble it. One thing that's kind of got me surprised though is it's not that steep of a grade to get up to the edge, and I'm sure people go up there all the time. It would be quite easy to fall over. You know, you get some young guy trying to show off, I would bet money you've had a lot of people fall over that edge. All right guys, I'm doing this for you. Let's do it. Up we go. Up. Oh, it's saying don't cross this line. Can't cross a little bit. Look at that. Wow, that's pretty breathtaking. I did not expect this. That is pretty breathtaking. People always describe Dalian as being an extremely beautiful city. Like, usually there's a general consensus that Dalian is like the most beautiful city in northeastern China, and I get it now. I get it. I mean, to get a view like this in the northeast of China is basically unheard of. This place is pretty awesome though, I'm not gonna lie. Got all those seagulls out there. That's quite a drop there. Quite a drop. Now we're down here on ground level. You can get an idea of how high this thing really is. That would be sick for skateboarding though. And then out here right on the waterfront, tons of seagulls. You know why they're here. They're looking for food. And seagulls are quite adept at catching food mid-flight. You just throw something up in the air, they'll catch it. She just said, oh no, they took a shit. So we gotta watch out for that. They will take a crap on you, that's for sure. But it's quite a beautiful sight. Wow. Yeah, I can see why Dalian has the reputation it does. This would be hard to beat scenery-wise in northeastern China. I don't think you'll beat it. I'm gonna get out of here before I do actually get crapped on. And of course, we've got the world famous Shanghai grocery store. So if you get hungry, you need some groceries, but I'm not too sure about their hours of operation. So what I'm doing to enjoy the waterfront, I hired a cab and we're just gonna go pretty much all the way around. I'll put a map up here and kind of show you where we're going, but along the way we should get some really nice scenic spots. You can't see it super clearly, but it is a really beautiful sunset right now. The driver was super cool. He pulled over and stopped here for a second to let me get a little video. But I mean, this is absolutely beautiful. It's windy though, but just stunning. Wow. Well, I've got to admit, Dalian is definitely living up to the hype. Now we're on this massive bridge. Got this really nice view. And what you're seeing out there is basically the Bohai Bay. Well, actually, I initially planned to take that taxi all the way around this, what you call it, a small peninsula, I don't know. I was gonna take it all the way around, you can see on the map, but I didn't for a couple reasons. The first being it's getting darker faster than I expected, so visibility was just dropping off real quick. Also, the scenic roads aren't quite as scenic as I thought. I mean, they're pretty awesome, but they're just not quite what I thought they would be. I thought it would be like right on the edge the whole time, and it definitely wasn't. Plus, a lot of the views were obstructed by fences and things like that, and gates. Fences. I saw a news article about this. I'll put a screenshot of the news article where I saw that they had installed some of these at McDonald's. These things to try to fight obesity. So they would put like little bicycles so you can actually exercise while you're scarfing down a double cheeseburger or a Big Mac. I just mentioned in a recent video for my travels down in Guangzhou that coffee is breaking out in China. I mean, China has always been known as a tea drinking country. And if you ask Chinese people in general, they'll say that they're tea drinkers, not coffee drinkers. But look, I just turned a corner over here and look, here's one cafe. We walk just right up here. There's another place that says Western Food and Cafe. You look right over here. Another cafe. I mean, cafes are literally everywhere. It's just exploding here. The bigger the city in China, the more cafes it's gonna have. Of course, if you get out in the middle, in Nowhereville, out in the small towns and stuff, you're not gonna find that much. But compared to years past, like I started coming to China in 2007. And yeah, I remember back in my early years when I would go to big cities, I could see Starbucks and stuff, but cafes weren't that common back then. Nowadays, they're just popping up everywhere. Just kind of looking over here at this cafe and on this table out here. You know what that's filled with? Sea cucumbers. Those are some weird looking creatures. I know that some pregnant women in China, or just after they give birth, I'm not sure which one, but something related to pregnancy. During that time for women in China, a lot of them believe that these are good for their health, and they might be. I really have no idea about that. I sort of feel like this tour of Dalian is not only a tour of the city, but I feel like I'm getting a tour of its subway system, because I haven't been here that long, and I'm already about to take my 3rd subway line. I've done 2, 3, and now 5. Well, fair play to Dalian for having the best subway map that I've seen in a subway station ever. It's got this like touch screen, you can drag it and find wherever you're trying to go. Well, one thing that's pretty cool about getting on the very first stop, it's not every day that you get a whole subway car to yourself. It's kind of a cool looking map of Dalian. Dalian station. I'm right over here in this area right now. Here we go again, you all. Taking the escalator straight up to heaven. Here's a place that does ear cleaning and foot repair, like foot massage and nail clipping and all that, and foot scraping. They're showing an ear, and they're giving examples of things that can get into your ear. Oh gosh, that's pretty gross and pretty terrifying. I found a restaurant that claims to have Dalian's most authentic taste, and that's what I like to do. When I go to a place, I try to eat their local stuff. Now this is northeastern China, and I'm very familiar with northeastern cuisine, but this is a part of the Northeast that I've never been to. We're kind of in the southern, we're in the southernmost point of the Northeast. That sounds kind of weird, right? The southernmost point of the Northeast region of China. And they've got their own Dalian beer here. It's called Panex Island. It's a dry beer. So, you know, I mean, I pretty much already know what to expect. Most Chinese beers kind of, well, they're all somewhat similar. And then they gave this water. It's hot water, but it's got like a sliced date and some just like, I don't really know, a flour of some sort. And then these are like shrimp crisps. Just like it looks like a little disc, and they just put it in hot oil and it fries it and turns into this. And they gifted me a little bowl of what would this be? Millet porridge, millet congee or something like that. Basically, just a hot bowl of porridge. Really no flavor to it, but that doesn't matter. It's nice and warm, and it's, you know, because it's a little bit chilly outside, and I'm kind of chilled to the bone. And like I said, these are just on the house. I'm not the biggest seafood eater, I'll tell you right now. I mean, usually seafood is not my first choice, although there are a few things that come from the sea that I truly love to eat. But in general, I'm not a big seafood guy. But since I'm here, you know, the locals here eat a lot of seafood because it's a coastal city. So I'm having, this is the first thing I've got, some fried shrimp. You just give it a little dip in this. Wow, these are actually really good. You can see it comes with the shell, but it's already pulled out. You just dip it. Very tasty, very tasty. Okay guys, I pretty much polished off the shrimp. Of course I needed another beer. And my dumplings are here. Now, China, obviously, everybody knows China has a lot of dumplings, right? These are boiled, okay? These are boiled dumplings. They call them shuijiao. Now, there are several ways that they do prepared dumplings in China. You've got steamed dumplings, and then you've got fried dumplings. You've got like the pot sticker, the dumplings that are mainly just fried on the bottom, like the flat part of the bottom. But these are the type that are boiled in hot water. And why did I choose to get dumplings here? Well, the reason I got these is because these have a seafood filling, which is not all that common in a lot of parts of China. These are well known in this area. These are mackerel stuffed dumplings. If you all caught my video that I released quite a while back, most of you didn't because it didn't get a whole lot of views, but it's about me going to a Chinese beach, and I'll be honest, it was a pretty disappointing experience. But that beach wasn't that far from the city that I'm in right now. This place has been here since the early 90s. Yeah, these are pretty good. I mean, they're nothing amazing, but it's something different, and they're unique to the area. A local specialty, so that's why I'm getting them, just for the experience. Now, one thing I forgot to talk about were these dipping sauces. Now, this is like a soy-based dipping sauce that's heavy on the garlic. This is basically just dark. She basically just said exactly what I'm saying, but she said it in Chinese. So yeah, this one is just Chinese vinegar. Now that is a bold promise from this restaurant. It says, if it's not good, if it's not tasty, you don't have to pay. That's confidence right there. Well, I've heard about this place, Bobo's Bar. I'm just looking to maybe have one drink, you know. If you can find an actual legit bar in China that can make real cocktails, then you're doing pretty well. So I think just one drink and I'm out. And the looks of things, well, couldn't be more dead. Well, as far as bars go, this place is pretty cool. I mean, they've got a legit selection up there. They've got everything you can want, but the place is absolutely dead. And I'm here on really on an off night. Let's just say it's not a Friday or Saturday, so it's definitely a slow time, but the place is dead. I was kind of hoping to meet maybe a couple of people from wherever, I don't know, a couple of travelers or people living over here in China, but I didn't want to walk in and just leave. I felt kind of rude, so I decided to grab one Guinness. Now this Guinness is costing me $9, guys. This one Guinness is costing me $9. But I haven't had a Guinness, like an actual draft Guinness, probably in 3 or 4 years. So that's why I decided to get it. I'm just treating myself. This is pretty unique in China. I haven't seen any other bars that really have darts going on. But here we've got this little girl here. She's got her own set of plastic tip darts. And then you've got this guy, this young dude that just came in. You can tell he's a regular. He knows the lady working here, and he brought his own darts in and he's throwing, just practicing. I'm guessing they probably have leagues and stuff here, competitions, which is not common to see in China. Well guys, that's gonna wrap things up for day one here in Dalian. It's been a great time. It's been an interesting day. Beautiful city. I've had a lot of fun. Had some good food, saw some beautiful scenery, talked to some interesting people. And now it's time to call it a day. Let's see what tomorrow brings. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Good morning and greetings. Day 2 here in Dalian. Just getting off the subway. And we are arriving at an interesting place. It's cold here, but the thing that makes it really painfully cold is the wind. That wind chill is it just cuts right through you, right to the bone. Before we get too deep into any adventures today, guys, I've got to get something to eat, and we're gonna go to Brothers Ramen here. That's what that says, Brothers Ramen. 兄弟拉面. I've got to get some food in me, guys. Well, good luck to you if you couldn't read Chinese. Over here, they've got noodles, wonton soup, dumplings. You can see there's a lot. They do have pictures to help. And then over here, you've got like pickled veggies and stuff. I like that you can see back in the kitchen. And then, of course, I'm gonna get a couple of these tea eggs too. They're basically hard-boiled eggs infused with flavor, and they're pretty good. You can't really go wrong unless you just absolutely hate eggs. I'm just waiting for my dumplings. They've given me this like soy sauce and garlic dipping sauce for the dumplings. I'm not big on garlic, so I'm gonna get some vinegar over here and just add a little of this to the vinegar. I don't like having garlic breath all day. And I'll tell you one thing about Brothers Ramen here. They're probably not paying too high of an electric bill because it's frigid in here. They don't like to turn on the heat. And this particular building does not have central heating, so it is chilly in here. Well, there you have it. More dumplings. I had dumplings last night, but those are fish stuffed dumplings. These are pork and celery, which is one of my favorite types of dumplings. And then I've got my vinegar, soy sauce, and garlic, light on the garlic, dipping sauce. The irony of it is that group of guys there, you can tell from the uniform, they work on the heating systems here in the city. They're like city government workers. They work on the heating around the city. Yet they're in Brothers Ramen, which is ice cold, and a really cool jacket in front of me. A lady wearing it. It says Fast Life, Drog Life, Thug Life, and Rock Life. The wind here is making it brutally cold. So first, past Victoria Mansion. So from what I've read online, this area took 4 years to build, and as far as a cost, I've seen estimates of anywhere from over 1 billion up to 4 billion US dollars. First impressions. Looks interesting. I mean, this is not something you would typically see in China. I do think it's kind of cringe when they do things like this and go over the top to try to make it look European, because at the end of the day, you know it's basically a fake, and it's hard to get too excited about a fake that's worse than the real version, or worse than the real thing. But that said, it is kind of interesting. Other first impressions, let's see. Very, very clean. And I've got to take a closer look at some of the buildings, because it looks like it's still in pretty good condition. China is notorious for shoddy construction, and a lot of times things that are new start to look old very quickly. So this place was completed it opened to the public in 2015, and so you know, it's been here 8 or 9 years. From a distance, it actually looks pretty good and pretty new. And here you can see the what is supposed to be a canal, but this part's dry. And on this CCTV surveillance tower, you've got some speakers putting out some tunes, which you wouldn't necessarily expect to hear in Venice. Kind of funky. And in the summer, well, the spring, summer, and fall, these canals would be filled with water. Right now, they're basically dry. They've got some ice on the bottom, but they would be filled with water, and you would be able to see gondolas going through here. Other first impressions, it looks pretty nice. You know, it's clean. You've got this peaceful music playing in the background, but it's really dead. It's desolate. I mean, I've seen a few people. Granted, it is really cold today with the wind. I mean, it's it's really cold. Like, if you don't have gloves on and your hands are exposed to the cold air and wind, it actually hurts. It bites that much. So here we've got a World Music Culture Museum, and there you can see the gondola automatic ticketing service. So in any season except for winter, you could get your tickets, hop on a gondola, take a nice pleasant cruise through the canals. Here's a couple of humans. Wow, I can't believe it. Hello. And when the weather's nice, everything over here would be opened up. You've got all these food stalls. You got your Dalian squid, octopus balls, baked oysters, all the things that you would expect to find in Venice. I didn't get a coffee before I came over here because I thought there would be plenty of cafes open. I mean, this is Venice after all, but like I said, everything is closed. There are a lot of buildings. I mean, over there we've got a live house. They're gonna have music and food. You've got all these buildings everywhere, but it looks like nothing is really being used. We're walking through the gate. We're entering a weird, wild world, something in which you have never imagined. Okay, so here's an interesting looking mansion or whatever you would call it. Pretty big, pretty spacious, obviously cost some money to build. This is just one of many. And when I say many, I mean many. So let's see what this place is all about. What's inside? So you can see in here, this is unfinished. The door is locked. You can see the ceiling there. Just totally bare and kind of looks like it was basically halfway finished. And even the floor, you can see they put tile on the floor about halfway, and it looks like they just kind of gave up. Now you might think that this is just a place that, oh well, they're, you know, they're working on it, it'll be finished soon. Well, don't forget, I said this place, this whole area was finished in 2015, so no telling how many years that's been sitting there just like that. Okay, so here's another one. This one's even bigger. Let's see what's going on over here. And you can see there are a lot of these. I can already tell from out here it's looking pretty empty in there. Yeah, basically it's just, I don't know if you can really see it, but it's just concrete. It's unfinished. And when you look at the quality of it, I mean, this has been here for what, 9 years? It looks like it's holding up fairly well. I mean, the vines on it actually look pretty cool. I like that. And these are real, these are not fake. I actually like how that looks. But a lot of these buildings are apparently just sitting here. It's just like a shell. There's nothing, there's a lot on the outside, but there's nothing going on the inside. It's pretty surreal, to be honest. Now the locals here call this Shuicheng, which means water city, which, okay, I get it. You've got the canals, and then just out there is the ocean, or the bay. And when you're in here, I mean, the sidewalks look nice and new and fresh. Everything looks pretty good. But what I'm seeing is it looks essentially like a ghost village. Because, and here's another one, I can already see from out here that, I mean, look at this place. It's nice looking, it's huge, and I can tell from out here that it's empty inside. It's just a shell. It's been built, but nothing has been done with it. Now in that building there, I did see people inside. It looked like a worker or two. It's some kind of art studio, I think. And then this appears to be finished on the inside. I looked inside, there's a big, was it mahogany or wood table? It's like a big tea drinking table. So I'm not sure what's going on in there. Let's check this out. It looks like there's a business opened over here. It'd be great if I could find a cafe. Okay, now there's a place. They're obviously selling suits and formal wear, but I don't think they're gonna get many customers around here because there is simply nobody around here. The only people I've seen here have been some workers that were setting up some stuff over there, which you saw, and I've seen a few people here doing photo ops. Now here's a young lady. She looks like, that looks like it could be a restaurant slash cafe. Let's see what we can find. Let's see what we have in here. I see beer. Hey, 你好，这有咖啡吗? Now this is a pretty snazzy place. They've got, you know, the full thing going on. It's like a restaurant. You got Goose IPA, Stella, and they've got a full-on kitchen over here. So this is a legit place, and it looks nice. Good beer selection, bunch of tasty desserts and all that. So this is the front of that place. So I basically came in the back. So they've got a nice big front space here, and it opens up to a larger road. So that's probably why they're doing pretty well. I mean, that's a up and running business. Saw a couple customers. I saw they got preparing a few things, probably for deliveries. And then as soon as you come outside, look what we've got out here. Nice, beautiful view of the bay. Oh, and by the way, I was able to get a cup of coffee there, finally. I've been looking for that for quite a while now. It did cost about $4, which was kind of pricey, but hey, what are you gonna do? Now this is a killer view. And look, nobody out here. I've got the whole place to myself. Wow, this is pretty nice. You can see those icicles forming on the railing here. But I will tell you, it is painfully cold today, and that wind is just killing me. Look at this. This is wild. A winter view of the bay, Dalian. And I've got some visitors over here looking for some food. Sorry, guys. Wow. It is a bit nippy today. Stroll here on the boardwalk. Give you guys a visual. So we've got the bay out there. We've got some seagulls following me. And over here we've got Venice, where that wind is really whipping. I'm sure in the summer months and in the warm times of year when the weather's nice, you'd see a lot of people out here. But you know, then again, based on the condition of everything, it's so nice and fresh. It doesn't look very worn, which leads me to believe that this place doesn't get a ton of foot traffic pretty much any time. Out there in the distance looks to be an industrial area because you can see a lot of smokestacks coming from out there. Before coming out today, I almost made the decision to not bring my gloves or my ear warmers. And I'm so glad that I did. I brought them just in case, because to be honest, without them, I wouldn't last long out here. I'd just have to come for a quick stop and leave because the wind chill is just too brutal. But luckily I'm all bundled up, so I'm good to go. We've made it back into the heart of Venice. I've never been to the real Venice. I've been to Europe, never been to Italy. I think that is a replica of St. Mark's. Well, I think we're actually going to see some more humans again. I can't believe it. People come in here just to check this place out, just basically the same as me, because this place is such an anomaly in China. Got a place over here selling these wind chimes. You can see people have written messages on them and then hung them up. Kind of like making a wish. I'm gonna do a good deed for the day. I don't like seeing this. Somebody just littered out here. I'll throw it away for them. You're welcome. Okay, see that place over there? Where is the name. They describe it as an American style Western restaurant. And I've got to say, that name, the English translation and the way it appears on that building is in quite poor taste. Well, maybe this area has a little more going on than I thought. I did see an area. There are definitely a lot of shells of what appear to be mansions, but are just shells. They're totally empty and unfinished on the inside. But there are, to be fair, quite a few actual businesses and whatnot as well. Like over here, you've got these restaurants. And then over here, something that caught my eye is a, well, there's a place straight ahead. I can see it says Xinjiang Dachuar. So Xinjiang skewers and seafood. And then if you look up there, that says Russian restaurant. So if I was hungry right now, I might go check it out, if they're even opened. I don't know, because over here with so few people, you know, you've got to think some of these businesses would not be able to sustain themselves. Upon closer inspection, look at these frogs here, the guy with the broken arm. Okay, this part's chained off, and inside there doesn't look like there's a lot going on. It looks like it might be closed. Cheers, mate. Let's go check. Okay, you can't go in there, definitely. Maybe the main entrance is over here. Let's go have a look. I'm starting to suspect that this is a fake restaurant. Yep, nothing here. Look at that. Nothing here, guys. Thought it was a Russian restaurant, but maybe at one point in time it was. But from what I can see, it's deader than a doornail. 12 o'clock. You can hear the bell toll at St. Mark's. Hey, at least it actually chimes. At least it actually sounds on the hour. I really didn't think that it would. So I'm kind of impressed by the fact that it actually works. Here's another one of these mansions. I haven't checked this one out yet, but I can tell already. Can you see in there? Looks like they had an idea to do something, but that idea was never completed. I wonder how long it's been sitting like this. Here's another one that I haven't checked out yet. I'd like to find one of these where the door is unlocked so I could just at least take a peek inside, but it's all locked up. Oh, thank goodness, this is exactly what I needed. I do need to make an international phone call, so thank goodness. Wait, this doesn't seem real. Hey, this doesn't work. Oh no, a local call for 10 cents? Bummer. Guess I'll have to use my cell phone. There you go, the fake telephone booth and a little fake mail drop. And guys, like I said at the beginning of the video, I think this place is kind of interesting. You know, I'm not here to bash the place. You know, obviously they spent a ton of, I mean, from what I've read, anywhere from 1 to 4 billion US dollars. They spent 4 years building it. Here's a place that's actually open. Bar and restaurant. So there are things going on, but there are a lot of empty units as well. But to me, just like the fake Paris over there on the outskirts of Hangzhou, this to me is reminiscent of the excesses of China, because it was started in 2011, and that was still part of the golden era of modern China. That was when everybody thought that nothing could slow down the economic machine that was China. So you ended up with plans for things like this, you know, just like I said in that video, I'll say it again here. To me, what I see when I look at this, it's the manifestation of excess, or what they thought was excess, because actually it turns out that 1 to 4 billion probably could have went to better use in retrospect. But hey, hindsight is always 20/20. Sorry guys, just walking slowly, just trying to be considerate. What I wouldn't give to just take one ride in the eggplant mobile. What I wouldn't give. Wonder how fast this thing can go. These girls are doing a photo shoot. She wants to get it with the pigeons, doves. It would be so funny if one of those birds dropped a little bird dropping on her. And it would, especially she's wearing white. Okay, well, I guess we're about to wrap things up for this video. Final thoughts. Interesting place, definitely an anomaly in China, but you have to think. I mean, think about how much money. That's a lot of money. But that money was used to build this. And the question is, was that the best way to use it? Well, I'll let you guys be the judge of that. And apparently this space is about 500,000 square meters. So it's a huge space, lots of buildings. I could see some fun events going on here in the spring and summer, even in the fall. I'm sure they have some cool events here, but I'm guessing if they could redo things, they probably wouldn't have built this. And in the modern climate of China, just the political and nationalist climate of China, this just wouldn't happen nowadays, because China has made a shift towards just pushing out Chinese culture, and anything like this is a representation. This is a literal replica of the West, and this would not be welcome. If somebody proposed this kind of idea in modern China, it would get shut down quickly. So this could only come into existence based on a very unique set of circumstances. There was the perfect time, and it was just like the perfect storm of events that allowed this. You know, the excess, the openness of China at the time, or at least compared to now, the openness of China, the feeling amongst the world basically, and all people in China, that nothing was ever going to slow down the economy here. There was just a feeling of confidence, and people wanted to try different things. They wanted to, you know, whoever had this idea probably thought this could become something really, really amazing. You can see over there, there's some development going on. They're building some more of these huge buildings. I'm guessing some of them, at least, maybe all of them, will be residential. I don't know what's going on with this place. It's probably still being actively worked on, but I don't know. I have seen construction projects like this in China that have just been abandoned. This one, I really have no idea. But, you know, sorry about that. My camera died, so I had to use the phone. But, you know, with the housing bubble, this is the last thing they need to be doing, building more of these housing units. I mean, they've already got enough to house the Chinese population, what was it, 3 times over? And they just keep building them. The Dalian trip has been short and it's been sweet, but unfortunately, I've got to go. We're here at Dalian North Station, and I need to get some food. I'm about to enter the station. There's a KFC here. I don't really want KFC, but I've never been here. I don't know what's inside. Usually inside these stations, they've got some, you know, food options. I may end up regretting it. I may end up having to eat a convenience store food or something like that, but I'm gonna chance it because I don't particularly want KFC. All right, here we are in the station. I just got to go through the security checkpoint, and I can see they've got plenty of restaurants and stuff, so no worries on that. In here, we've got Mr. Lee's beef noodles over there. We've got Yonghe over there. They've got a wide variety of things. We've got, what's that? Oh, a dumpling place. I've had too many dumplings. Oh, Subway. A Subway over there. KFC, another KFC. There's one outside and there's one inside. I'm gonna get something that I think will make for interesting video instead. This is malatang, which it's a really popular meal in China. It's like you just choose your items and they cook it in like a hot soup for you. Okay, get one of these bowls. Okay, get some tongs, and then you just choose what you want in yours. You choose it by yourself, and they've got a bunch of different things. Types of like meatballs and different vegetables, tofu, and fried eggs, sausage. And a lot of these meats are like processed like junk basically, but you know, the veggies, that's legit fresh veggies. Fresh broccoli, fresh mushrooms, fresh cauliflower, quail eggs. So I'm gonna load up here and we'll see what the result looks like. So you can see what I've got here. I've loaded up, got mostly veggies. Got a couple meatballs in there, but got veggies, tofu, mushrooms, bean sprouts. And I don't like to get too much of that fake meat, but they do have actual like sliced semi-fresh meat, these frozen rolls. So this is fatty beef. So we'll get one of these, toss that in there too, and then just give it to the worker and they'll cook it to the spice level of your preference. And just like when you eat hot pot in China, here's the same. You can make your own dipping sauce. So a lot of sauces here are sesame based. That's a sesame sauce, spicy chili oil, ground garlic, cilantro, onions, chilies, MSG, salt and sugar. So when you get it, this is how it looks. It's just been cooked in some hot soup, and I told him I wanted like mildly spicy, but you got dipping sauce. I added some chili oil to this as well. I just don't want it too hot. I want to have some control over how spicy it gets, but I don't know if I'll be able to eat all this. This looks pretty massive. Granted, it is mostly vegetables, and you just take this and you dip it in this and you eat it, and it tastes really good. I couldn't finish all of it, but I did pretty well. And they're saying that this is a global chain all over the world, more than 5,800 locations. Is that actually true? If so, that's kind of surprising. Unfortunately, this is going to be the part where we have to say goodbye. Gonna have to wrap things up for this video because I'm leaving. But for all of you who tuned into this video, and especially if you tuned in and stayed tuned in until the very end and you're still watching, massive shout out to you. Give yourself a pat on the back. Before you go, please consider subscribing to the channel. I do mostly travel related content, but I will cover current events, things in the news, whatever. Anything pretty much that's related to China is fair game. Also, I do want to, I hate to keep saying this in every video, but I do have to let you guys know that in order for me to really take this channel to the next level and to open up a whole new range of locations to travel to, I will be relying a lot on your all support because YouTube ad revenue is simply not enough. So I've got a Patreon page where you can make a monthly pledge starting at $1, so it's not really breaking the bank. And I recently opened up a buy me a coffee page, and that's just a one-time contribution. So if it's just like making a one-time donation to the channel. Anything I make from this channel will go back into it. And also I have received a few contributions in the comment section of my YouTube videos, and I just want to say thank you all so much. The fact that you all tune in, watch the videos, and contribute to what I'm doing, it really, really means a lot. So thanks a lot, you all. I hope that the new year is off to a good start, 2024, and let's just keep it rolling. Let's make this year an awesome year. Now, we've definitely had a handful of rough years, but let's make this one a good one, guys. So until next time, this is Mr. Chopsticks signing out. We'll catch you in the next video. 下次再见。